वंदे वृंदावनचरं वल्लवी जनवल्लभं जयंती संभवं धाम वैजयंती विभूषणं कस्तूरी तिलकं ललाटपटले वक्षस्थले कौस्तुभं नासाग्रे वरमौक्तिकं करतले वेणुकरे कंकणं सर्वांगे हरिचंदनं सुललितं कंठे च मुक्तावली गोपस्त्री परिवेष्टितो विजयते गोपाल चूड़ामणि. Shri Krishna, the glorious incarnation of Sriman Narayana, was versatile and appealing to one and all. In his childhood, his pastimes were in fact pastimes for many yogis. When he grew up, his pastimes were quite enjoyed by the other cowherd boys. When he further grew up and became a man of stature, his preachings were so useful to not only his friends and relatives, but this entire human race. When he departed, he stood as a role model for a yogi by himself. The life and preachings of Krishna is a treasure on its own. Many of his practices may not be practical to us today, but all his preachings are. One can follow each one of his preachings. We may not be able to follow all his practices. Shastra, Taittiriya Upanishad, gives us a tip, gives us a guideline. Yanyanavadhyani karmani, thani sevitavyani, no itarani, एकेचास्मच्छ्रेयागुंशो ब्राह्मणाः तेषां त्वयासनेन प्रश्वसितव्यम्. These are advices given by Taittiriya Upanishad to a leaving student. A student completes his studies with his acharya. He takes leave of him. Acharya advises him. He says, follow whatever noble souls have done, but you may not be able to follow all. They were all blessed souls. They were powerful. Even if they were wrong in some instance, they had the power to correct themselves. But O Shishya, you may not have the same power. If you are a ringmaster, you can afford to put your head into the open mouth of a lion. But if you are not a ringmaster, if you have not trained to do it, one should not. If you do it, then there is a chance of we getting killed. Similarly, yogis, jnanis, who have well trained their mind and body can afford to do many things. But we cannot do. We would not be able to correct them. Can we do many prayaschitta karmas as told by the Shastra? Can we chant Tirumantram for 100,000 times within 12 hours? These are all some of the prayaschittams. It says, fast for 12 days. If you do this papa, you fast for 12 days. If you do this papa, take a round around this world. Bhoop Pradakshana, then the papa is removed. Now these prayaschittams are beyond our reach. We can't. So, better not experiment the problems in the first instance. So Acharya tells his Shishya, Yanyanavadhyani karmani. Out of all the actions which you saw me doing, filter them, practice those, follow those that suit you, that you can. but don't follow all my actions. Yanyanavadyani karmani tani sevitavyani, which is not against my objective, do them. Tani sevitavyani, follow only them. If this rule is applicable to many yogis, why not to Krishna? Yoginam Ishwaraha. Krishna was Yogeshwara. Yogi is Ishwara. So not all his actions could be imitated by us. We have to filter. He was God himself incarnate. He could afford, but we should not. I am giving you this word of caution at the beginning of this lecture because you may question, why not we practice all that Krishna did? Why only follow his preachings? Why not his practice? He lied. He married 16,100 girls. He robbed butter. He changed Amavasya. He killed Bhishmacharya using Shikhandi as a front man. He killed Dronacharya, compelling Bhimasena and Dharmaputra to lie. So, if this is the record of Sri Krishna, can I also follow this record? Before you get this doubt, let me preempt any of your doubt. We could not have it. We should not have this doubt. The reason is, as I told you now, great people would be equipped. They are able to remove the papam, although earned. They have the power to do prayashchittam, but we do not have. So better do not. I saw a cycle advertisement. The cycle rider, bike rider, took a leap from the top of one hill. He jumped to the top of another hill. But I saw a disclaimer in the advertisement. People who are not trained in bike riding, do not mind. Do not do this because you are not trained to do it. If you do something that we are not trained to, then there is every chance of we failing and getting killed. Similarly, if Krishna does, let's not do. We can do. Many of his actions can be followed by us, but all his preachings can be. His preaching is very well known. It's popular, Bhagavad Gita. And all his actions are narrated in Bhagavatam. So today's topic, the practice and preachings of Krishna, would be a blend of Srimad Bhagavatam and Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Gita is his preaching. Bhagavatam lists, it's a record of all his deeds, past tense. So let us toggle between the two and spend our time fruitfully today. Bhagavad Gita is the essence of Upanishads. Sarvopanishado gavaha, dogdha gopalanandanaha, partho vatsaha sudhir bhokta, dugdhan gitamritam mahat. Krishna himself assumed as a cowherd boy. He milked all the Upanishads, which took the form of a cow. The nectarine milk was Bhagavad Gita. For the cow to give milk, it expects a calf. Arjuna was placed as a calf. Sarvopanishado gavaha. All the Upanishads took the form of a cow. Dogdha gopalanandanaha. Krishna himself was the cowherd, the one who milked. Partho vatsaha. Partha Arjuna was the calf. Sudhir bhokta. But who enjoys milk? Not only the calf. In fact, the calf is allowed to drink milk only for the first 5 minutes. Then on, the rest of the milk is to all people who savor milk, who would like to drink milk. Sarvopanishado gavaha, dogdha gopalanandanaha, partho vatsaha, sudhir bhokta, sudhihi. All those like-minded people who are desirous of knowing who Krishna is, drink the milk, the nectar of Bhagavad Gita. Dogdha gopalanandanaha, partho vatsaha, sudhir bhokta, dugdhan gitamritam mahat. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna dealt with karma and jnana yoga in the first 6 chapters. Jnana karmatnike nishte, yoga lakshye susamskrite, atmanubhuti siddhyarthe, purva shatkena chodite. This is one shloka of Swami Alavandar. You must certainly know about Alavandar. His name was Yamunacharya. He was born in Kattumannar Kovil. This is a place quite close to Chidambaram. Yamunacharya was a great preceptor in Shiva Vaishnava Sampradaya. Lakshminatha Samarambham, Natha Yamuna Madhyamam, Asmad Acharya Paryantam, Vande Guru Paramparam. We salute to that glorious Guru Parampara. Vande Guru Paramparam, the lineage of preceptors. Lakshminatha Samarambham. It begins with Sriman Narayana as the first Acharya. Natha Yamuna Madhyamam. Swami Natha Munigal and Swami Alavandar were both beautiful gems in the harem of Guru Parampara. This Guru Parampara itself is a necklace studded with precious gems. Two important gems who in fact added value to the necklace were Natha Muni and Alavandar. Natha Munigal was the grandfather. Alavandar was his grandson. Together, they have contributed a lot to the progress of Shiva Vaishnava Sampradaya. Alavandar was the first one to author a work on the essence of Bhagavad Gita. In Shiva Vaishnava Sampradaya, the first work, in fact, that was a pioneer attempt by him. Gitartha Sangraha was his work. It comprises of 32 shlokas. The glory of Gitartha Sangraha is, it is so significant to us. It's quite short and sweet. Just 32 shlokas explain the essence of Bhagavad Gita. And you know the way he presented it? One shlokam, the essence of all 700 shlokas. Then one shlokam, essence of first 6 chapters. The next shlokam, essence of the second 6 chapters. One other shlokam, essence of the third 6 chapters. Then from shlokam 4 to the next 18 shlokas, he gave the essence of one adhyaya in one shloka. So the first adhyayam would be the shlokam, the essence shlokam would be the 4th shloka. Second adhyayam, 5th shloka. So total 22 shlokas from 1 to 22. He completed the essence of Bhagavad Gita. One shloka which talks about the essence of first 6 chapters is this. Jnana karmatnike nishte yoga lakshye susamskrite atmanubhuti siddhyarthe purva shatkena chodite. Purva shatka, the first hexad, 6 chapters. Purva shatkena chodite. Jnana yoga and karma yoga are essentially explained in the first 6 chapters. Karma yoga is doing one's duty. You are born. You have to live, but live the right way. To live the right way, Bhagavan prescribes. The Vedas, Manusmriti, Gautama, Apastamba Sutras, all these prescribe the way we to lead our life. So we must follow them. Jnana karmatmike nishte. Karma yoga is one's duty, but while doing one's duty, one should not feel that I am the doer. Shed the thought. Renounce the feeling that I do. Instead, accept that he does. He makes me do. That is the first sacrifice. We need to do 3 sacrifices when we do. 1. Kartrutva buddhi tyaga. 2. Mamata tyaga. 3. Phala tyaga. Kartrutva buddhi, the thought that I am the doer. Renounce that thought. Mamata tyaga, the feeling that this is my karma, renounce that too. And lastly, phala. Why do you expect a mean fruit? Don't do this for any lowly objective. Instead, expect something very high, something lofty, which is Atma Sakshatkaram or Paramatma Sakshatkaram. Phala tyaga, to renounce the fruit. Mamata tyaga, to shed the feeling that this is my karma. Kartrutva buddhi tyaga, to renounce the thought that I am the doer. With these tyagams, if you perform, then that becomes karma yoga. One is karma yoga, then meditating on Bhagavan is jnana yoga. Krishna revealed karma and jnana yoga in the first 6 chapters. There, in the second chapter, 62nd shloka, I would narrate the explanation for that shloka and also take an incident from the life and history of Sri Krishna and compare both. This is his preaching. If we move to Bhagavatam, we would find his deed, his action. They should match, is it not? So let me first talk to you about this slokam. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangaha teshu upajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodhaha abhijayate krodhat bhavati sammohaha sammohat smriti vipramaha smriti bhramshat buddhinashaha buddhinashat pranashyati. Krishna talks about a ladder. This ladder is not an ascending ladder. It doesn't allow you to progress. In fact, you degenerate in this ladder. You don't progress at all. It is degrowth. You degrow if you climb this ladder. He says, it's so logical. What he says is very logical. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. If you think again and again of some object, then you will certainly develop an attachment to that object. Dhyayataha vishayan. I go and do window. As I told you a couple of days ago, I go for window shopping. I look at it. It's quite attractive to me. But I thought, I don't have enough money to get it now. Or it's not much useful to me. Thinking so, I returned home. But when I went to bed, I was not very tired that day. So I didn't sleep immediately. Instead, I was recollecting whatever happened during the day. I went to the shop. I stood outside, looked at the window. I saw a beautiful necklace or a dhoti or whatever it is. I looked at it, but I didn't have enough money. It was not useful to me. So I got back. Why not? But it looked so well. The make was good. The brand is good. Even if I don't use it every day, I might use it at least a day in a year. Then why not I buy that? I didn't have enough money now, but will I not earn in the next 3 months to come? I would. So why not I borrow some money and buy this? Or even if it is not useful, let me keep it. It may be useful for my next generation. I think in so many lines. Dhyayata. Dhyayata. The more you think about that, Vishayan pumsaha sangaha teshu upajayate. Whether you desire that or not, don't you develop an attachment towards it? Vishayan pumsaha sangaha teshu upajayate. You go to sleep. The day was over. But things don't stop there. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu upajayate. Now, dhyanam is over, but sangam has erupted. Sangam is attachment. You are attached to that product. You slowly start identifying yourself with that product. You even think that you are using that product at home. You think that I am better off with that product. You think that can I live without this product? So slowly your attachment develops to be desire. First step was attachment. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu upajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha. Sangat, by attachment. Sanjayate is born, is generated. Kamaha. The next phase is desire. Desire doesn't stop there. If you satisfy your desire, you are a happy man. If it's not satisfied, you become unhappy. Unhappiness results in anger. How does it change to anger? If you are unhappy, and you are unhappy because you couldn't get something that you wanted to, then you search for reasons. Who was the hurdle in me not getting it? Was it money? Or my husband or wife? Was it my relative? Or is it my status, standard of living? What caused me? Why am I not having that product? So when you think in those lines, you list it down. There may not be direct causes even, but still you list down and spot some causes. Next is Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu upajayate sangat sanjayate kama. Kama gives birth to krodha. Kamat bhavati. Krodhaha abhijayate. Kama, if fulfilled, if your desire is fulfilled, then there is no need for anger. If you have an unfulfilled desire, then certainly you will burst with anger. Anywhere you can take it from me that if someone is angry, there would certainly be an underlying unfulfilled promise or desire. If someone promises to me and doesn't keep up his promise, then that results in my kopa, my krodha. Even if he keeps up. If I don't get what I wanted to, then my kama immediately bursts to kopa. Kama and krodha are the sons of the same mother. Kama yeshaha, kopa yeshaha, krodha yeshaha, rajoguna samudbhavaha. Rajoguna's two sons, twin sons. Kama yeshaha, krodha yeshaha. Krishna, although identifying kama and krodha as two different entities, but when he completes the shloka, he says that Vidhi yenamika vairinam jahishatrum mahabaho. Oh Mahabaho Arjuna, I know that you are skillful. You know the art of driving away your enemies. But have you mastered to drive away your kama and krodha? These are your internal enemies. You can drive over external enemies. Kama yeshaha, krodha yeshaha, rajoguna samudbhavaha. We have a triad. Sattvagunam, rajogunam, tamogunam. Rajoguna gives birth to kama and kopa. Why did Krishna conclude both the same then? When he started the shloka, he said, Kama yeshaha, krodha yeshaha, rajoguna. He has used two words, two different attributes, one kama, one krodha. But when he completed the shloka, jahishatrum mahabaho. Shatru is a singular word. He should not have used that singular word. He should have used a dual word. As he has taken kama and krodha, can he engage that it is Shatru? He is not. Rama Lakshmanaha. You can't say so. Rama Lakshmanau Agatau. Ramaha, Ramau, Ramaha Nushalamulya. Ramaha singular. Ramau dual. Ramaha more than two. Ramaha, Ramu, Ramaha plural. In Sanskrit we just don't say plural. It's Bahuvachanam. But still the explanation, the need for Bahuvachanam is minimum it should be 3. If it's 3, then you use Bahuvachanam. Here Krishna should have used dual, Kama and Krodha. But he says Shatrum Mahabaho. When your Shatru, Kama and Krodha, that goes without saying now. They both are born to the same mother. They are brothers. Kamo Karshit, Manyura Karshit, Namo Namaha. Don't we say this every day while performing Sandhya Vandanam? We are supposed to. This is Kadalvani Kaitapulakum. Kamo Karshit, Manyura Karshit, Namo Namaha. This was all caused because of Kama, caused because of Krodha. I didn't do. Whatever all my imperfections, whatever all my wrong deeds, all, I am not responsible for any of them. My Kama and Krodha are responsible for them. Kamo Karshit, Manyura Karshit, Namo Namaha. And annually we have a ceremony. It's known as Yajur Upakarma, Rig Upakarma, Sama Upakarma. The annual ceremony is in temples you conduct Brahmotsam, conduct Pavitrotsam. For what? There may be so many shortcomings throughout the year. We would not have rightly offered to Perumal whatever we ought to have. Instead, we completed with the Prayashchita Utsav. During Pushpotsavam, Pushpayagam, we offer him so many flowers in fact, we could not have many temples go without flowers every day. So we conduct Pushpayagam. On that one day, we will offer for 10,000 rupees. That doesn't mean that you can fast throughout the year and have all the food in 1 year. That's not logical even. But still we do it. Brahmotsavam, we are not able to conduct procession every day. Instead, for 10 days in a year. Pavitrotsavam, many things would be impure, whatever we offered. So let it all become pure during Pavitrotsavam. Vasantotsavam, I have not fanned Peruman for many days. Ure Vayil, Visiri Visiravelle, Apo Vasantotsavam. So these utsavams are all to nullify the effect of all the shortcomings. Similarly, Kama Yeshaha, Krodha Yeshaha, this japam is done annually. On that day, we commit to do it 100 or 1,000 times. When we say the sankalpam, we say so. Ashtottara, Shata Sankhya, Sahasra Sankhya, Kamo Karshit, Manyura Karshit, Iti Mantra Japam, Aham Adya Karishye. For what? As a prayashchitta that you didn't perform Sandhya Vandanam rightly for the whole year. Probably you might have missed, you did Sandhya Vandanam, but you missed to chant this mantra Kamayesha, Kamokarshit, Manyurakarshit. So, to nullify that, instead, I perform my annual Prayaschitta Yajurupa Karma. To chant 1,000 times, it would take about 2 hours. Until such time, I can't have milk or curd or anything. It becomes so difficult for me to do anything without having milk or whatever you have. I would not like to mention the name now. Whatever you have, you add something to the milk, turn its color and then have it. Idan nama pandrom. Ada saapdada pandradhu evlo kashtam. When we go on pilgrimage, people tell me, those who come, the pilgrims often ask me, Swami, even if you delay our food, we are not much worried. But morning 5:30 and afternoon 2:30, if these 2 times our panam is in place, then we are willing to come with you for a month even. We are not concerned. But these 2 sessions, please be very concerned. We are concerned about that. But for that, we can go without Bhagavan. But not without this. How to do? Our person was getting irritated more and more. He is chanting Kamo Karshit, Manyura Karshit, Namo Namaha. But slowly his kopam and kamam are getting up and up. They are developing. Why? He is slowly frowning. He thinks, why am I doing this without having milk today? Anyhow, I will complete at 7:30. I started at 5:30. I will complete at 7:30. Oh my loving wife, can you get me the drink at 7:25 ready by the side of me? I should look at it before I complete my japam. But my wife little delayed as milk was delayed on that day. It was 7:40. I completed at 7:30 exactly. I jumped at her and told her, what, do you not understand what I tell you? Why didn't you make it ready at 7:30? And she knew Sanskrit a little. So she questioned me. What was the japam? I also heard your japam. Kamo Karshit, Manyura Karshit, Namo Namaha. All this was caused by desire. All this was caused by my anger, not me. As you were chanting, don't you realize what you chanted? Kamo Karshit, Manyura Karshit. Don't you internalize the chanting? Don't chant as a ritual, but chant and internalize. Don't you know? Then why do you frown at me now? Husband quickly replied, you know why I am getting so angry on you now? Unless I save so much of anger for the next 1 year, how will I perform my Prayaschitta in the next year? I need to do that. To perform Prayaschitta, I must start now. I must earn Kamam and Kropam. Only then I can spend. If I don't have, how do I spend and remove them next year? This is the plight we are all in. Kamo Karshit, Manyura Karshit, Namo Namaha. So Kama and Krodha. Kama, by feeding Kama, one cannot remove Kama. You have to stop feeding Kama. I'll give you an example. You have logs of woods with which you fire, you burn a chulha. Gas cylinder. But assume in those days, we use firewood to cook. You keep a firewood and this fire wants more and more of wood. It's never quenched. It is never satisfied. Agni Bhagavan is called as Analaha. Agni, Anala, Alam, enough. Anala, never enough. Analaha. Agni says that it's never enough for him. Give more and give more. No, to put off fire, what do? I have to stop adding firewood. But I thought, let me satisfy Agni Bhagavan by adding more firewood so that he is happy, he is satisfied and he is put off. Will it ever happen? Never. Unless I stop feeding Agni, he would never be put off. So I need to stop feeding my indriyas. My sensual organs want a lot. I can't satisfy them. Instead, I should stop feeding material pleasure to him. This is the only way to do it. Krishna says that Indriyani, Indriyarthebhyaha, Tasya Prajna Pratishtita. There was one king who was a predecessor, much early days, to Krishna. He was known as Yayati. Yayati's eldest son was Yadu. Youngest son was Puru. Yayati enjoyed youthhood for thousands of years, but he was not satisfied. Instead, After even 1,000 years, he went to his eldest son and requested him, "Can you share your youthhood with me? I will give my old age to you. We will exchange. You give my youthhood to me. I will enjoy for 1,000 years and then return it to you." But the eldest son denied. "I would like to enjoy for myself. I would not like to share with you." So the Raja cursed him. "You would not be coronated. I won't give you my property to you. So you won't become a king." He went to the next son. He too denied. Then the last son, Puru, he accepted the offer. "After all, you are my parent. You are my father. If I don't give it to you, to whom will I share?" So he shared his youthhood with his father. Father was happy. He said, "You become the king." So Yadu lost his kingdom. Because he denied the request of his father, he lost. Bhagavan Krishna was born in Yadu dynasty, in the lineage of Yadu as Yadava. He was known as Yadava because he was born in Yadukula. And why did he take birth in Yadukula? Yadukula had lost the kingdom. So Bhagavan wanted to regain the lost kingdom. That's why he took birth there. Why did I tell you this story now? To make you understand that even in those days, Kama could not be quenched. Kama yeshaha, krodha yeshaha, rajoguna samudbhavaha. A kopishta, one who is too angry and lost control, will not even bother to kill his acharya. Gurun hanyat, krudhaha hanyat, gurun api. If you are a kopishta, if you are lost control by anger, krudhaha hanyat, gurun api, you will kill even your acharya. One was very angry. There was a suggestion given to him. "Swami, why don't you chant Ramanamam for 108 times so that you control your anger?" He started chanting Rama, 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 Rama. I saw he was quite tense. I asked him why. "I gave you this suggestion to de-stress you, Swami. Why are you looking tensed?" He said, "I am just counting Ramanamam as quickly as possible so that I complete the chant and then frown." இதான் அவர் சொன்னார். இப்போ எதுக்கு நீ சாண்ட் பண்ணிருக்கேன்னா, கிடுகிடுன்னு ராமநாமத்தை சொல்லிட்டு கோவப்படணும். You told that you can be angry after this chanting. So he was waiting to chant, complete and then that is not for. அதுக்கு நம்ம சொல்லவே இல்லை. இப்போ ராமநாமத்தை if you chant and internalize, then you will control. Rama who controlled Kopa. Sri Valmiki Bhagavan raised 16 questions to Narada Bhagavan. Konvasmin sampradam loke gunavan. There one of the gunas is jitakrotha. Kaha jitakrotha. Who is the one who had controlled his krotha? It's too difficult to control. Shelladattu kappan shenam kappan. Ancient Tamil poets say this. Shelladattu kappan shenam kappan. One who is able to control anger where it's effective. You must control there. Shellada edattu. Can I be angry on the president of this country? I can be. It's of no use at all. You can be, but you can't go to him and shout at him. You can shout at him at home. So, wherever it's not effective, we control well. That is not what they advise. Wherever it's effective, you must control. It's effective with my wife. It's effective with my husband. It's effective with my father. You must know to control there. Enga nanna kochina ava bhayapaduvalo, anga kochikave kuda. So, Shelladattu kappan, Shenam kappan, it's too difficult. We have to know the nature of Atman and Paramatman to control anger. If not, we lose control. Kamat bhavati, krotha, kamat krotha abhijayate. So, where we dhyayato, purushan, vishayan, pumsaha, sangasteshu upajayate. First you develop an attachment. Sangat sanjayate kamaha. Attachment develops to be a desire. Then kamat krotha abhijayate. If you have an unfulfilled desire that transforms, that in fact burns as anger, then krodhat bhavati sammohaha. When you are angry, you are confused. You lose control. If you are angry, we talk different languages. Have you seen that? If people are angry, then normally they switch language. Ava madrubhashayila பேச மாட்டா. இப்போ தமிழில் கோவப்படுறான்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க, தமிழில் பேச மாட்டா, இங்கிலீஷில் பேச ஆரம்பிச்சோம். யாரான தெலுங்கராக இருந்தால் திடீர் கோபம் வந்ததுன்னா வேற பாஷைக்கு தாவிடுறோம். ஏன் அப்படின்னா அப்போ தான் ஏதோ ஒன்று பேச முடியும். ஏன்னா தெரிஞ்ச பாஷையாக இருந்தால் ஒழுங்காக பேசணும். If you are talking in your mother tongue, then you must be that there must be no error in your delivery. If you just switch to any other language, you can afford. Whatever comes to your mind. So, krodhat bhavati sammohaha. Sammoham is confusion. You lose control. You are no more in your control. Sammohat smriti vidphamaha. Once you lose control, then you lose sight on your objective. Please note every step now. If you lose control, then you lose sight on your objective. My objective of birth, purpose of birth is to remove my karma and get liberated. That's the purpose of my birth. But when I feel angry, will this come to my mind? It won't. When I have lost sight, when I am confused, can I talk about my objective? For example, I have a problem in life today. Someone called me and they said that, Swami, you are not right, you are wrong. Now, I am going to take away your house. I am going to take away your property. If they say so, I am confused. So something wrong is happening to me. I get confused. When I am confused, whatever I talk about Gita or Bhagavatam will not be effective at all. Even if I am hungry, I can't talk spirituality to you. If you don't have a peaceful marital life, there is no point in talking Gita to you. People would say, here, the situation is, it's a cross reference now. The problem is we are in a crossroad. If you have a problem in your marital life, read Gita, you would become peaceful, you will have a calm mind to discuss and sort out the problem. But you would say that once the problem is sorted out, let me start with Gita. So where to begin now? Gita padicha vastavam Swami ukkandu pesalam. Ana ukkandu pesradhukku problem theerdathane pesa mudiyumna. Edu modal edu pinnadi po, you will have to begin with Gita. No other go. If you don't read that, at least read 10 slokas, 5 slokas a day. It will really benefit you. It will be very effective. Know the sloka first, then get into the meaning. Don't worry whether you know all the deeper meanings of Gita. It's too difficult. Krishna himself says that, King karma, kim akarmeti, kavayopyatra mohitaha. Oh Arjuna, even the learned scholars are confused in what I delivered in Gita. He was so happy telling that. அந்த மாதிரி பழப்பமாக ஒரு கீதையை பாடிட்டாலும் அதுக்கு அவ்வளோ சந்தோஷப்பட்டுக்கிறார். கிங் கர்ம கிம் அகர்மேதி கவயோப்யத்ர மோகிதாக. Even great poets and scholars are confused, Arjuna. They are not clear on what I told them, as I have contradicted in many places, apparently. It would look as though I contradicted between the 4th chapter and 5th, 6th and 18th, 9th and 18th. It's not so. But our preceptors have spent their lifetime in reconciling these problems. Krishna revealed it in 1 hour. But after that, whether it's Vedavyasa or Narada or Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, they spend their whole life in only reconciling the problems created by him. Creating problem will not take time, but solving a problem takes a lot of time. Why should they bother? If they are convinced, why not they depart? They wanted us to be convinced. If they had not researched and written down glorious commentaries, we, ignorant people, how will we know the deeper meanings of Gita? So Bhagavan Krishna, he says, Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu upajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krothaha abhijayate krothat bhavati sammohaha sammohat smriti vipramaha. I lose sight on my objective. So you must note, if you lose sight on your objective, what is the next? The next problem is smriti pramshat buddhi nashaha. I lose my reasoning power itself. I lost control. I lost sight of objective. Lastly, I lost my intellectual ability. Losing intellectual ability would mean that I lose my reasoning power. I don't even think or plan to do anything. I think I do something. Not as per any plan. Not a logical thought process at all. So Arjuna, please note, the cause for all this, it all hinges on one first problem. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. The more you recall about something material, the whole thing starts. Adanale, when you look at something, try to forget it then and there. Avladhan, the simple solution. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha, an engagement, an attachment. Attachment grows as a desire. Desire transforms as anger. Anger makes you confused. If you are confused, you lose sight on objective. When you lose your objective, then you lose your reasoning power and intellectual ability. Why get into all trouble? Instead, you must know to disengage. So Krishna here gives us a clear message. You all know to engage, Arjuna, but you must also better know to disengage, which we don't. There are two margas. One is pravritti marga, other is nivritti marga. Pravritti margam is a path of engagement. Nivritti margam is a path of detachment, path of disengagement. We all know to engage very well. Whatever told to you, Swami, can I come? Can I join? நிறைய பேர் கேட்டே இருப்பீங்க நீங்கள் வந்து ஏதாவது ஹெல்ப் வேணுமா ஏதாவது ஹெல்ப் வேணுமான்னு கேட்டுட்டே இருக்கும் பாரு. ஒன்றும் பண்ணலாம் மாட்டான், கேட்டுட்டே இருப்பா. அவ்வளோதான். இப்போ என்னமோ ஹெல்ப் வேணுமான்னு கேட்குறாளேங்கிறதுக்காக பண்ணிடுவாள்லாம் நினச்சிக்கூடாது. இப்போ நிஜமா ஆமாம் ஹெல்ப் வேணும், நான் இதை பண்ணுறேன், குழம்ப நான் பண்ணுறேன், சாத்துவை நீங்கள் பண்ணுங்கன்னு சொன்னால் அது பண்ணி பார்த்தேன், ஒன்றும் சரியாக வரல, நீங்களே பண்ணிக்கொண்டு வா. ஹெல்ப் வேணும்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா அது அத்தோட முடிஞ்சு போச்சு. இப்போ அதனால we think that we engage, but even in real sense we do not. Engagement is easy. It's easy to do, but disengagement must be easier to do. After all, we have been used to disengagement. As an infant, did I engage? I did not. I left every responsibility to my mother, including to feed, including to remove the dirt, malam, mutram. I only left the responsibility to my mother. But slowly when I grew up, I got engaged. But I could not choose the right things in which to get engaged. Instead, I start engaging in everything that I saw. Whatever it sees, it will try to taste. But the mother stops. You should not. You can taste this, not this. But it's a tendency of the child when it grows to taste anything it comes across. Similarly, when we turn to be a youth, our tendencies enjoy whatever comes to me. But we must know to choose and enjoy what is right to you. Engagement is quite easy, but disengagement, you need a power to do it, a skill. One must choose a ball. You can't strike all balls to a 4 or a 6er. If you do it, you will get caught. இவ்வளோ தான் ஆகும். இப்போ வந்த பாலெல்லாம் 4 அடிக்க ஆரம்பிச்சேன்னா எங்கே நான் ஒரு ஸ்கோர் பண்ணுறது? இப்போ யூ மஸ்ட் சூஸ் த ரைட் பால். இஃப் எனி பால் இஸ் அ வெரி குட் பால், I must know to leave it alone. Let it travel safely to the wicket keeper. அதுதான் ரொம்ப முக்கியம். People know to strike all balls. You strike the wrong ball, you will get out. You have to choose the right ball. The outside the off stump போயிட்டு இருக்கிறச்சே மெனக்கட்டு பின்னாடி போய் அதை தொட்டின்னு வச்சுங்க பிடிச்சின்னு போடுவோம். அவ்வளோதான் நடக்கும். அங்கே போனால் போகட்டும்னு விட்டுணுமே தவிர அதை we don't chase a ball. We should not. The ball should come to me and I should strike the ball. If you chase it, you have all you may definitely get out. அவ்வளோதான் சொல்ல முடியும். அதனால so we must know to engage and more know to disengage. இங்கே கண்ணன் சொல்றதே, you are all engaged Arjuna, but know to disengage even. Where to? How to detach? When you started to recall what you window shopped, stop that recall then. How to stop it? You have to use your reasoning power to stop it. Tell for yourself, this is against my objective. My objective is to reach him. My mission is to remove my karma and reach him. I would not allow any hurdle to enter in that objective. I would not move my eyes in that great objective. The more you think about your glorious objective, the less you will have time to think about everything else. The less you devote time to think about your objective, the more you think about material pleasures, material things. So devote time. That's where meditation plays an important role. The more you think about Bhagavan when you meditate, on whom do you meditate? Not on these chairs, not on a tape recorder. You meditate on Venkatesha Perumal, Kumbhakonam, Aravamudan, Mannargudi, Rajagopalan. Choose the God who is most appealing to you. Think about him. Think about his pastimes. In which way? It's again Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsa. Now, I will take you through another ladder. But this is a very acceptable ladder, useful ladder. The earlier ladder, in fact, it spoilt us. But this ladder would help us. Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha. The more I meditate and recall on Bhagavan. This is not on material things. But now I think about him. Sangasteshu upajayate. I develop an attachment to him. No problem at all. Attachment to material pleasure was you invited trouble. But now you get attached to Krishna. Sangasteshu upajayate. Sangat sanjayate kamaha. Then there is a burning desire. Fine, that's also acceptable. You have a burning desire to reach him. In fact, that is what our Alvas were expecting to happen. We need to burn in our desire to reach him. திரும்ப திரும்ப அதைத்தானே கேட்டாப்ப என்ன இருக்கு உங்கள்கிட்ட? ஆர்த்தி. ஆர்த்தி இன்னம் ஒன்னும் மாயம் செய்யேல் என்னையே. Oh Krishna, don't deceive me any further. Accept me. It's today. Can I reach you today? So that was the intense level of arti, of longing for spiritual union, which is also acceptable. In fact, this is a disease. Bhakti even is called as a disease by Alvas. But a disease which cannot be treated, which need not be treated. அது வருமா வருமானு தான் எல்லாரும் ஆசைப்பட்டிருக்கா. அப்புறம் ஏன் சொல்ல போகுது? உற்ற நன்னோய் இது தேறினோம். Alvar says this is a welcome disease. The disease longing for spiritual union. Sangat sanjayate kamaha. Kamat bhavati. Kamat krodhaha abhijayate. If you don't have his darshan, then you burst. Alvars do that. Thirumangalvar did it. He went to Tiruvindalur, Parimala Ranganathan. Hope you have had darshan of Parimala Ranganathan. He burst. He was so angry with Parimala Ranganatha Perumal. He questioned him. Nummai toludom, immaikku inbam pettom, வாழ்ந்தேபோம் நீரே, இந்தளூரீரே, நம்மை ஒரு கால் காட்டி நடந்தால் நாங்கள் உய்யோமே. When Alvar entered the town, it was 11:45 in the daytime, the gates were closed. Alvar couldn't have darshan. He was too furious. I have come with an expectation to have darshan. Not only darshan, I wanted to talk to you a lot. I have so much to discuss with you, but I came with such a love and affection to have, but why have you closed your gates? Open them now. Bhagavan said, this is Archavata. This is a deity form. I am not Krishna or Rama to open whenever you want. This is a temple. It's closed. Wait. 4:30, the gates open again. Wait till such time. Thirumangalvar jumped and he told Bhagavan, I would not. It's your responsibility to open the gate. நம்மை ஒரு கால் காட்டி நடந்தால் நாங்கள் உய்யோமே. சிந்ததன்னுள் நீங்காதிருந்த திருவே. மறுவினிய மைந்தா. அந்த நாரி மாலே. சோழமல களிரே. நந்தாள் விளக்கின் சுடரே. நரையூர் நின்ன நம்பி. என் இந்தளூராய் அடியேற்கிறையுமிறங்காயே. Oh Bhagavan, you are giving are you trying to convince me that you won't open your gates now? Instead, if I have gambled, instead of coming to you, if I had gambled, I would have earned more money. What is that you gifted me? I have been your devotee for years and years together. Is this your reciprocation? கோபம் ஆழ்வார். அதில் அப்படியே தவிக்கிறார், கொதிக்கிறார். அவர் பார்த்துப்போ பகவான் தாட், எஸ், லெட் அஸ் நர்ச்சர் திஸ் கோபம், லெட் அஸ் இம்ப்ரூவ் ஆன் திஸ் கோபம். Bhagavan never wanted to satisfy or control his kopam. The more he is furious, the more he is intimate to him. He becomes more and more intimate to Bhagavan. Bhagavan, very maintaining a composed mind, replied to Thirumangalvar, "Oh Alvi, do you blame me that I have done nothing good to you? Is it so? You come here as a bhakta. How many people have come to have my darshan? Did I not give you that mind to have darshan? You now jump in anger. That was also caused by me. But for bhakti, will you be angry? If it had been some other pilgrim and he finds the gates closed, he would just conclude, I was not fortunate enough to have darshan today. Let me try after a couple of years. அவ்வளோதான். படுவாங்க இல்லையோ, யாரை காத்துட்டு படப்போ இல்லை இவராட்ட மாட்டேனே இந்த மாதிரி நீ சேவை கொடுக்காத போயிட்டு நம்ம தான் கத்திட்டு இருப்போம். ரெண்டுமே இல்லையோ இல்லையோ. Yes, today I was not fortunate to have darshan, or even probably Bhagavan was not fortunate enough to give me darshan. I may even say so. So let us wait till we come to India the next time. Swami, if it may be 2-3 years, let it be. We have spent 20-30 years not having darshan. What is that we lose? Let me wait. So people are patient. They are patient because they don't long. They don't long for spiritual union. Bhagavan said to Alvar, you are not willing to be patient. Does it not mean that I have developed your bhakti to that extent? Why don't you recognize that? First, be grateful to whatever I have given you. Alvar said, yes. Shindadannull neengadirunda thiruve. You had gifted me a lot, but unfortunately, that is not enough for me. I am not satisfied with whatever you have given. I need to enjoy more and more with you. Shindadannull neengadirunda thiruve. மறுவினிய மைந்தா அந்தநாளி மாலே சோழமல களிரே நந்தா விளக்கின் சுடரே நரையூர் நின்ன நம்பி என் எந்தாய் இந்தளூராய் அடியேற்கிறையுமிறங்காயே. Bhagavan replied, Oh Alvar, I know many other bhaktas like you. They all don't blame me like this, but you do differently. Why? Alvar said, don't equate any other bhakta to me. I am a unique bhakta. Do you think that I am equal to some of your bhaktas? Nummai toludhom, immaikku inbam pettom, vaandevum neere, vashavallir indalurire vaandevum niye. Now let me bless you. Be happy with your family. Don't give me darshan. Close your gates always. Let me leave this place. He started leaving. Alvar said, wait Alvar, you are my only devotee. If you leave, where will I go? Alvar said, do you equate me to all other bhaktas? I am not. I am a special bhakta to you. Now open the gates. What to do? Bhagavan had to open and give darshan. So this was the love quarrel. The kopa generated out of love. It exactly fits to what Krishna says here. It is the same kopa which we also display on unwanted material things. But the same kopa which Alvar displayed on wanted thing Bhagavan. So dhyayato vishayan pumsah sangasteshu pajayate. Kama krodham on him is right. Kama krodham on material pleasure is wrong. Sangasteshu upajayate, sangat sanjayate kamaha. Alvar was confused now. He forgot his objective. His objective is to please Perumal, but now he is quarreling with Perumal. Did he not forget his objective now? Is he a bhakta to please him or an enemy to displease him? He is not, but he forgot. Adan confusion. Padanapata sammoha. Buddhi sammohat smriti vidhabamaha. He lost his objective. Lastly lost himself. Fortunately, Bhagavan stopped and accepted Alvar to him. So now we have seen both worlds. One, we have seen the material world, which is condemnable, and we have seen the spiritual world, which is appreciable. The rendayume paathutom. Now let us go to the practice of Sri Krishna. This is the preaching of Krishna. Come towards the end of Krishna's life. He was seated somewhere close to Prabhasa Kshetra. He lived a good portion of his life in Dwaraka. Krishna was discussing with Uddhava. He decided to quit Dwaraka and depart this material world from a place called, it's a very punya kshetra called Prabhasa Kshetra. It is near a place called Veraval in Gujarat. Gujarat houses 4 Dwarakas: Bet Dwaraka, Gomati Dwaraka, Moola Dwaraka, Dakur Dwaraka. And the 5th and the most important Dwaraka is in Rajasthan, Srinatha Dwaraka. Srinatha, Ranganatha, Srinatha. Srinatha Dwaraka is in Rajasthan. All other 4 are in Gujarat. So we are talking about Gujarat, the glorious place of Dwaraka. Krishna decided to quit. He changed his place. He reached Prabhasa Kshetram near Veraval. You also know about Somnath. It's all quite close to Somnath. Krishna reached Prabhasa Kshetram. He discussed with Uddhava. Uddhava had lot of enquiries. He had lot of doubts in his mind. He was a very intimate devotee of Krishna. Finally, Krishna, he broke the secret. He said, Uddhava, I have decided now to depart. I won't live here anymore. My mission is completed. I have now relieved Bhuma Devi of her burden. She was burdened by treacherous kings, by cruel asuras. I have killed them all. So Bhuma Devi is relieved. I have now established virtue. Pandavas were in difficulty, in distress. I have rescued them. Dharma is established. All the sadhus are relieved. And the cruel ones are killed. Paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya cha dushkritam, dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami. Now, as the mission is completed, I decide to depart. Uddhava could not bear these words. He immediately fell in the lotus feet of Krishna and requested, what do we do? Take us along with you. Krishna said, we can't take you like that, Uddhava. Now I have a piece of advice to you. Go to Gandhamatana Parvata, the Parvata which houses Badarika Ashram. Gandhamatana Parvata, the place for many yogis, the place for people who like solace, the place for people who like to be alone, not in any gathering, not in crowd. That's the right place. The serene, the pristine atmosphere is so good. So Krishna advises Uddhava, go there, meditate on me, then you will reach me. On some day or other you will reach me. Uddhava said, I can't live without you. Krishna said, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha. Don't you remember my shlokas in Gita, Uddhava? Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha. If you think about me, then you develop an attachment. If you are attached to me, you develop a desire to reach me. The desire, it results in krodha. Better don't get into this trouble at all. Don't enter this stream. Better go to Gandhamadana Parvata, which is Badari. But Uddhava replied, I thought you had talked about material things, Krishna. You never told about yourself. Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsa, is it about you? It's only about material things. Krishna said, even on me, you must be controlled. Uddhava didn't accept it at all. You may say many things, Krishna, but I also have the right to deny. I deny. Krishna said, do you have the courage to deny me? If you talk this language, I have the courage and right to deny you. With you, I will be attached. To you, I will develop a desire. With you, I of course want spiritual union. I will not depart. I will come along with you. You can't depart. Appadan Kannan solrar. Tadviyogena te bhaktaha katham sthasyanti bhutale. But without you, how would your bhaktas live here? And you have developed an intimacy to them. If you had been a friend, was just a friend, and who left, then we would not also be longing like this. We would not, we can bear separation, we can tolerate. But you have developed an intimacy with us that we are not able to bear the separation. Oh Krishna, don't get separated. Krishna says, let me enter the glorious words of Bhagavatam. I can't be physically present anymore. Instead, I will take the form of words, the words of Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavati Varta Suranamapi Durlabha Menire Bhagavad Drupam Shastram Bhagavatam Kalau Srimad Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Loka Vishrutam Shruniyat Shraddhaya Yukta Mama Santosha Karanam. The words of Bhagavata Purana are pure. I reside in the shlokas of Bhagavata Purana. Anyone who chants those shlokas would be construed as meditating on me. Chant one shloka, if not possible, half, if not possible, a quarter. Even that will make me stand before you. Uddhava, this is the only compromise that I can do for you. Else, I know for sure that you had led a very peaceful life, detached from material pleasure. Uddhava said, Oh Krishna, were you also not detached? Yes, he was. Bhagavan is a person who is never attached to too many people. Now, he is quite contrary to Rama. Rama was born in a place, he grew up there, he lived there, he departed from there. But to Krishna, he keeps on switching places. He says, don't develop an attachment. But you know how much did he put it to practice? He is the one who really practiced it. He was born in Mathura, he departed the same day. Did he generate any Edan Urpatsu, any attachment to Mathura? Not at all. Orutti Mahanai Perandu, Odiravir Orutti Mahanai Olittu Valara. The same night he left Mathura and visited and entered Gokulam. He lived for 5 years in Gokulam. All the Gopikas, threes were so much attached to him. But suddenly he vanished from there. He migrated to Nandagaon. He thought, this, my days in Gokulam are over. Let me migrate to Nandagaon. Another 5 years. Akrura came to take Krishna to Mathura. Kamsa sent Asuras one by one. It all started with Putana, ended with Keshi. No one returned. Gokula is a one-way traffic village. You can only enter Gokula. You can't get out of Gokula. Both ways. If you are a devotee, you will enter and happily remain. You would not like to come out. If you are an enemy, you will not be allowed to come out. You are killed. It's only one-way traffic. So Kamsa sent one after other all the asuras, they got exhausted. Putana, Shakatasura, Pralambhasura, Trinavartasura, Bakasura, Kapithasura, Vatsasura, Keshi, Trinavarta, Dhenukasura, many asuras. This is an Asura Sahasranama. Vishnu Sahasranama adikadi solluvodhu idella Asura Sahasranama. All the asuras were exhausted. No one more to go. Kamsa changed the plan. Now he strategized. Let me conduct a Dhanuryaga at Mathura. I will request my nephew to come here. So he sent Akrura as an emissary and requested Krishna to attend. Krishna gracefully accepted. Wherever it is, I would come. So his 10 years were over now. The first 5 years in Gokula, the second 5 in Nandagaon. Now he was expecting already to migrate. He only used Kamsa as an instrument. Kamsa did not. But Krishna had decided to migrate already. He would not live in a place more than 5 years. He lived there, came back to Mathura, and then after killing Kamsa, he started living there. That's his birthplace. He would have lived for long. Immediately his father told him, "Oh Krishna, you are yet to study with anybody." வயசாண்டே போது படிக்கவே இல்லையே நீ படிக்க வேண்டாமா ஓ பரவாயில்லையே 10 வயசு வரைக்கும் பள்ளிக்கூடமே போக வேண்டாமா could you not attend school even at 10 it was 10 when the father Vasudeva realized that Krishna had not attended school he must where do you go Krishna in Mathura Krishna said I would prefer an outside school not a school in Mathura they migrated to Ujjain a place called Avantika it is there Krishna studied under the tutelage of Sandipini for Aya Kalagal 64, the 64 different arts. Krishna learnt in 64 days. He said, I can't waste more time. 64 days are enough. In 64, whatever I learn, that's more than enough for my life. So, a person who learnt only 64 days, if he can preach Bhagavad Gita, அப்படின்னா நம்மெல்லாம் நிறையவே சொல்லணும் ஏன்னா அவர் 64 நாள் படிச்சுட்டு கீதை சொன்னார்னா நம்மெல்லாம் we study for 15 years to 20 years so why not we can even write more and more Gitas என்ன nobody will listen to it அவ்வளோதானே தவிர கண்ணன் கீதை சொன்னால் கேட்பா எல்லாரும் நான் நீங்களும் கீதை பாட்டினா யார் கேட்பா அவர் சொன்னால் மட்டும்தான் கேட்பா so Krishna departed from his place he went to Ujjain completed his studies then he got back to Mathura they could have lived there happily he did not He thought, it is time for me to migrate. This place is not interesting to me. He wanted to move. Sannyasis are supposed to move every day. They can't stay for more than a day. Gramayikaratra. They are called as people who have Gramayikaratra principle. Grama Ekaratra. One night in one grama. Then they immediately migrate. Why? If they stay for one more day, then some would come to prostrate to you. They will offer their salutation. And you, since you are so good, since he is a noble person, his blessings would certainly give him something good. Once I have something good, I will pass the message in the village. Some sannyasi is visited. He is under the banyan tree. Let us all go. People throng. You will have a queue and you have a ticket. This is very shall queue and then Swami, I have a marital problem. Can you solve? I didn't have a son. I had a daughter, but not a son. Why don't you bless me with one? I don't have promotion for 10 years. Somehow, my job is not good. It's not stable at all. And that sannyasi would get engaged with all that which he didn't want to. Yedadikavar sannyasi anaro, he will get engaged with everything. So for a sannyasi, it is better to depart every day. Gramayikaratra. Krishna was not a sannyasi. But still, he departed. He was in Mathura. Since he killed Kamsa, Kamsa had 2 wives. They went and complained to Jayadratha, Jarasandha. You would have heard about Jarasandha. So they went and complained to Jarasandha. Jarasandha came with a mighty army. And he lay siege on Mathura. The fight went on for 17 times. Not once or twice. Krishna drove away Jarasandha for 17 times. But still, it was a torment for the residents of Mathura. Krishna told his elder brother, "Oh Balarama, let us leave. Let's quit Mathura. For our sake, let our people not suffer. And go till we are here, Jarasandha won't spare us. So let us move." Balarama said, "I can't be a coward. I will stay back and fight." Krishna said, "You be a courageous person. You be a warrior. But I am a coward. Let me leave." Krishna left. Kalayavana. Kalayavan adahana charitra. He chased Krishna. "Oh Krishna, don't run like a coward." Krishna said, "Let me be a coward or not be a coward. I have decided to run. Let me run." So he ran. He entered Gujarat, Dakur, Dwaraka. That was the first place where Krishna stood. Kalayavana reached there. Using Muchukunda as a pawn, Krishna killed Kalayavana. Then finally reached Bed Dwaraka and Gomati Dwaraka, requested the ocean king and dredging. Even in those days, dredging was done by Krishna. He, Nelattalla, Jalatte, Nelamakralulli, reclaiming land. So they claimed land. Krishna claimed land from Samudra Raja and established a beautiful throne, 12 yojane, 120 miles long. Anganarda. He should have peacefully lived there the rest of his life. He did not. Our friends are in distress. Let me move now to Indraprastha. He left Dwarka. Indraprastha in Delhi. Lived there. But could he not live there? He thought, this Indraprastha is not interesting. Let me go to them along with the forest. Made them go to the forest. So Pandavas went to the forest. He often visited the Pandavas and they finally ended up in a place called Upappalavya. So Krishna also came to Upappalavya. That is where they discussed and Krishna decided to go as a messenger. Came as a messenger again to Indraprastha. He was denied. Even so he was denied. Krishna was quite angry. He returned and said, I declare war Dharmaputra on your behalf. Dharmaputra said, there was a debate. Krishna requested Dharmaputra, what should I talk on your behalf? Can you give me some tips? Dharmaputra said, you know what is right, what is wrong. Whatever is good to us, talk on our behalf. Arjuna repeated. He accepted. Bhimasena accepted. Kanakula accepted. When Krishna came to Sahadeva, he said, don't ask me. I know that you are the only one who wants this war. Neither us, neither the Pandavas nor the Kauravas. So if we arrest you, I am sure we can stop this war. Krishnan Pata, na enna pannendru Sahadeva panna, vanakku tha motta pera kolonum aase. So Krishna migrated again and again from Upappalavya to Indraprastha. Indraprastha to Kurukshetra. He went there. That was further away in the north. Indraprastha is almost Delhi today. And from there you go into Haryana, where the Punya Bhumi Kurukshetra exists. Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samavetaha Yutsavaha Mamaka Pandavas Chaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. This is a holy shrine, holy Bhumi, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre. You must make it a point in your lifetime to visit Kurukshetra, sit there peacefully and chant Gita as many times as possible. It will take only about 3.5 hours to chant Gita. If you just don't know to read Sanskrit also, it may take about 4.5 hours. It is worth spending that time. It's a place that is so vibrant. Reach there, sit there, meditate on Krishna, chant Gita for once at least in lifetime. In fact, if you can afford, do it every year. Swami, idu konjam adhigamana aasai. ஏதோ போனா போகுது ஒரு தடவை சொன்னீரேன்னு பார்த்தா அது கூட வருஷம் ஆசை யாரை விட்டது இப்போ இந்த ஆசை தப்பா தியாயத்தோ விஷயான் பும்சா தப்பு நான் திரும்ப குருக்ஷேத்திரத்தை நினைச்சது அங்கே போய் கீதையை சொல்லலே நினைக்கிறது தப்பான்னா அது ஒன்றும் தப்பு இல்லையே. This is a longing which is an acceptable longing. Anything for spirituality is acceptable, but anything regarding materialism is unacceptable. So Krishna went to Kurukshetra, completed, helped Pandavas, and they won the war. They all returned to Indraprastha. Krishna said, it's quite some time since I left Dwaraka, let me go back there. Arjuna went. Dharmaputra, he requested Krishna, please be with us. You hereafter stay with us. No, Dharmaputra, you don't know my nature is not to stay. I don't stay, let me move. So he again moved to Dwaraka. He could have lived there. That is when he discussed with Uddhava and suddenly declared, I am moving out of Dwaraka. Tell all our people to move out of Dwaraka. Let's go to Prabhasa Kshetra. So he went to Prabhasa Kshetra. Did he ever get engaged, attached to any one place? So Krishna practiced what he preached. He preached, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha Sangasteshu Upajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha Kamat Krodhaha Abhijayate Krodha Bhavati Sammohaha Sammohat Spriti Vibramaha Spriti Vibramshad Buddhinashat Pranashyati. Idkahata Krishna didn't want to get attached to anyone, but he can do that. We must try all the best possible methods to get attached to him. Since Krishna tried to detach from me, let me also try the same way. But it is, as I only told you about the geographical places where he went. But I am not telling about detachment from the minds of his devotees. That he was ever attached. In fact, the Gopikas never thought that Krishna had left. Once the same Uddhava, the Uddhava whom I talked about now, Krishna sent Uddhava as a emissary. Go to Gokula, convince all the girls there, Gopikas, they would be longing. Convince them. don't be too much attached to me. Teach them Jnana Yoga. They would realize their folly. Your poet, he was ready. He was raring to go to talk about Jnana Yoga. He went and sat by the side of a pond. He was there in the shore of a pond. No one came to listen to him. Right from the morning in Gokula, every girl was going, had a bath, did her daily anutthana, took water, went to Krishna's. Krishna was not there. They thought that Krishna was with them, was amongst them, went to their home, offered puja to Krishna. They were singing about Krishna, dancing on Krishna. They sold Krishna, they bought Krishna, they did everything. It was midday. No one came to him. Evening, no one came to him. He returned. He returned dejected. He came back and told Krishna. Krishna inquired him, "Oh Uddhava, you wanted to teach them, you wanted to console them with Jnana Yoga. Did he succeed?" Our Badal Shannar, "I learned Bhakti Yoga. I went to preach them Jnana Yoga, but in turn I got preached. I changed my life now. I thought Jnanam is better than Bhakti. Now I decide. I conclude that Bhakti is much superior to Jnanam. I am no match to them. They are so intimate to you. Now I am now pleading to you. If you depart, what will happen to me? You have departed already." But they don't lament. They think that you are with them always. ஆகவே இப்போ நாம் தெரிகின்றது, what is the right ladder to travel, which is the ladder to refrain from. Everything attachment in spirituality is right, but attachment to materialism is not right. This is the message we get from the practice of Krishna and the preaching of Krishna. Let us move on to the next subject. So I had now introduced you one on the second chapter, 62nd verse. Let us move on to the same second chapter, 71st verse. Krishna says, "Vihaya kaman yaha sarvan pumanch charati nisprigaha nirmamaha nirahankaraha sashanti madhigachati." This talks about the three sacrifices, three renouncements: kartrutta buddhi tyaga, mamata tyaga, phalatyaga. Don't think that you are the doer. Renounce that thought. I am not a karta. I am karta karayitatsa saha. He is the doer and I am an instrument, tool in his hand. Krishna himself says so. When he gave the glorious darshan of Vishwarupa, Arjuna inquired to him, "Ko bhavan ugra rupaha?" Who are you? You look so dangerous. Ko bhavan ugra rupaha? You are so furious. Krishna replied, "Aham kalosmi." I am Kala Devata. Aham kalosmi. Nivittamatram bhava sabhyachachin. It is enough that you be a tool in my hand. Nivittamatram bhava sabhyachachin. Tasmat yudhyasva yasho labhasva. Earn fame. You are not going to do anything. You are going to only beat a dead serpent. Adam Panabar Arjuna. I had already killed all the Kauravas. Arjuna was surprised. When did you? I didn't know that. In a Sunday they are all there. They are physically present, Arjuna, but mentally they are all dead. You know, when did I kill them? When I came as your messenger, as Pandava Duta, they were all seated in their throne. Kadal mannar shuda kadir pol vilangi, yadaluttu meende irundu, tudalapperududai tuchodananai adalavidittare accho accho, aaliyan kayyane accho accho. Periyalvar, as a mother Yashoda of Krishna, he sings these songs. Accho, Kadal mannar shuda kadir pol vilangi. Duryodhana was seated as though a kadir, like a big paddy kadir. He was seated in the middle. He was surrounded by a galaxy of emperors. Kadal mannar shuda kadir pol vilangi. Our Duryodhana had already laid a rule. When Krishna enters, no one should raise and offer their salutations to him. Whoever does it, if you respect Krishna, I would burn your kingdom to ashes. They were very cautious. They were holding to their chairs. No one wanted to get up. Kadal mannar shuda kadir bol vilangi. When Krishna entered, every action stopped. Mothers were feeding their children. They stopped. They were serving their in-laws. They stopped. Cooking stopped. Ganga stopped. Yamuna stopped. Everything stopped. They were all expecting Krishna to enter. He entered. Kadir bol vilangi. But all other kings were very cautious, holding to their chairs. The first one to rise was Duryodhana. அவர் தான் முதல்ல எழுந்திருந்தார். யார் பண்ணவே கூடாதுன்னு சொன்னானோ கண்ணன் வந்த உடனே விரதம் அமுஞ்சத, ஹோமம் அமுஞ்சத, சர்வம் அமுஞ்சத. People forgot everything. They raised, and Duryodhana raised. Krishna, when he entered, looked at Duryodhana. but more specifically looked at Duchasana. Tudaleppirudode Tucchodhanane, Adalavadittane Accho Accho. With furious, reddened eyes, Krishna burnt Duchasana to ashes then. It was then, not now. Oh Arjuna, don't worry at all. You are not going to fight this battle. I had already fought and completed this battle. You are only going to beat a dead serpent and earn a name, Vijayan. The one who is victorious, Vijaya. Arjuna with a feeble voice, he pleaded to Krishna, why don't you have that name too? Niye shanda potukiye, eppadi adichitiye, adichatha, why don't you earn? Krishna said, you need not give me that name, Arjuna. I am already titled as Vijaya by the Shastra, by the eternal Shastra. Now I want another name. The name which I am fond of now is Vijaya Sarathi, Vijaya Sakha. As a charioteer of Vijaya, as a friend of Vijaya, I need that name now. So you be my instrument. Nimittamatram bhava samdasachin yuddhasva yasho labhasva. So the thought that we are the doer, let us renounce that first. He says, Krishna says, Vihaya kaman yaha sarvan pumans charati nispriha. Nispriha. Vihaya kaman. I renounce all the fruits of my actions. Digita phalatyagam nu per. Nirmamaha. Nirahankaraha. Nirahankaraha. I renounce the thought that I am the doer. Nirmamaha. I also shed the thought that this belongs to me. So once I shed all these, sa shanti mati gacchati. Such a karma yogi is so peaceful, Arjuna. You can do your karma, but without these three strings attached to it, if you perform anything, you won't feel peace at all. You may be doing more and more, but you would not be peaceful. So these three words are vital. Nisprihaha, nirmamaha, nirahankaraha. Please note. Nisprihaha, phalatyagam. Nirmamaha, mamatatyagam. Nirahankaraha, kartrutva buddhi tyaga. Tyagena ki purusha vyaghra trividha samprakirtitaha. Tyaga is of three forms. Kartrutva buddhi tyagam, mamata tyagam, phala tyagam. Krishna preached. Not only preached, but he also practiced what he preached. He says, Vihaya kaman yaha sarvan puman charati. Was Krishna not an ahankari? Did not think I do everything? He did, but at times he also demonstrated that, oh Arjuna, look at this. I have myself shed ahankara. Priya, Krishna should be an ahankari. We should not be an ahankari, but Krishna should be. If Krishna ahankara, if he also thinks that I am not the karta, then what will happen to this world? Who will protect this world? If he starts thinking that, let me not involve myself in anything, I must remain detached with this world, let anybody do anything they want. If he says so, then think about our lives. Who will protect us? So Bhagavan should ever think that everything belongs to me. He must not even have an iota of doubt in it. He must always see that things belongs to me. I am the owner. I am the master. Everyone must serve me. We will all lead a very happy life. But he wanted to demonstrate, be a role model for Nirmamaha Nirahankaraha. I'll now narrate a story to you. The story of Yajna Patni Anugraha. Krishna one day went to Vrindavan to gaze the cows. The cows were on. The cows had left them. They were all gazing around. Krishna was too hungry. So were all the cowherd boys. They wanted to have food. Who will provide them with food in the middle of a jungle? Krishna said, there are many rishis who are already meditating and doing some sacrifices. They are doing some yajnam. Go there. Since yajnam is in the progress, they will have a lot of food to offer. Go. Request that. Krishna requested them for food. All the boys went. Gopakumaras went, pleaded to them. They said, they flatly refused. They said, you are all just cowherd boys. We are brahmanas here, performing yajnam. Yes, we will give you, but not now. This is to be offered to the devatas. I can't offer you now. Better come in the night, in the fall of the evening. Appo, we will have all leftover prasadams. We will give that to you. Unaku adudha undu. Appadina, kovam pasangalukku. Pashi vandale kovam vandirum. Pashi vandal pattum parandu pom. Pasiyila saapadu pota odane ella seriyapodum. Pillayo ponno ange school lendu varache aha ore sattam, ore padappam. Kishkindayatam. அப்படி இருக்கிறச்சே நல்லா பார்த்து சாப்பாடு போட்டோன்னு வச்சுங்க எல்லாம் சரியா போடும். அயோத்தியாட்டம் ஆகிடும். முதல்ல கிஷ்கிந்தையாட்டம் இருந்தது, சாப்பாடை போட்டப்புறம் அயோத்தியாட்டம் மாறி போச்சு. கோபம், சரி ஏதோ கோபத்தில் கத்தி தின்னா விட்டுருங்க அப்படிங்கிற இல்லையோ. இந்த பசங்களுக்கு since they were not fed, they were so hungry that they burst. They came back crying to Krishna. Krishna said, wait, why do you cry? We cry because we were denied food. It's very disgraceful to us. We were all disrespected. சொன்ன உடனே கண்ணன் சொன்னார், நாம போனது பிச்சை எடுக்க, இதில் என்ன இப்போ மானமாக அவமானம் பண்ணிருக்கோம், ஒன்றும் வேண்டாம். We went to beg with them. To a beggar, one must not have manam or avamanam, no respect or disrespect. If this house lady denies, I'll go to the next house. If she denies, I'll go to the next home. If she denies, I will continue to go to any home till I am fed. அவ்வளவுதான். Trinamabala gurmene, grass is it's light. Vayu is very light. Grass is lighter. They say a person who is a beggar is the lightest. Yena, he has no mana or avamana. So Krishna advised the children, better go to Yajna Patni. You went to the rishis. Probably they were not aware of who was asking them for food. The rishis were so ignorant. They were fools. In fact, why I say so is, பெரியாள் வரை சொல்றாரு, ஏன்னா பைத்தியமா அந்த ரிஷிகளுக்கு இல்லை. இப்போ பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கிறது, I chant mantra, Gayatri mantra. When I was doing, Surya Bhagavan suddenly appeared before me. I was closing my eyes tight. He said, I am before you. You are chanting about me only. Open your eyes, have my darshan. I said, I have done only 80. I still have 28 to go. Wait. அப்படின்னா அவர் கோஷிக்க மாட்டாரா? இதுதான் துளி கூட ஞானம் இல்லாமல் ரிச்சுவலிஸ்டிக்காக பண்ணுறதுன்னு அர்த்தம். So, if you are chanting and Bhagavan appears, think more about him than the karma part. Your deed, your action part is inferior to your awareness part. There is a portion of awareness in any job, in any karma. One is the jnana bhaga, other is the karma bhaga. Karma bhaga is not superior, certainly not to jnana bhaga, but you can't get away with karma bhaga. You need to. If you wreath garland, you wreath, but thinking about him. Think that Periyalvar did the same service, Anantalvan did, Andal did, Thandaradipudiyar also offered pushpam to Perumal. Think in those lines and perform your kainkariam. If you don't think and just materially, mechanically, if you do that job of அப்புறம் அது கடையில் உட்காந்து மாலை கட்டுறதுக்கு இதுக்கு வித்தியாசமே இருக்காது. கடையிலே கட்டிடலாம் இல்லையோ, அது வித்துட்டு போவோமே, அப்படி செய்யக்கூடாது. ஸோ ஞான பாகா இஸ் சுப்பீரியர் டு கர்ம பாகா, which the so-called jnanis, rishis didn't know. They didn't know that we are all offering this sacrifice towards Krishna. It is Krishna who has asked us for this. Purinjikalava, Krishna thought, let them not. If they don't understand, what do I do? Anale, oh my boys, Gopalas, Gopakumaras, don't have ahankara. That's vanda. Did we do? We don't do. It's all done by Bhagavan. So better go to the next door. This is a very good katha. One beggar. Every day he came to me and he told, you have to give me food. The household lady denied. He said, he threatened the lady. If you don't give me food today, I will do the same thing which I did next door. Now the lady was afraid, so he gave him food, gave him money. 30 days he threatened and took whatever he wanted to. The next month was gone. The lady she gained courage and thought that, let me deny today. Even he can't take me for a ride. So he said, whatever you did in the next door, you can do. Go ahead. Without raising an eyebrow, our friend left this home and reached the next home. I did the same in the next home. You thought I would do something else. So as a beggar, Krishna, ahankrita kartrutta buddhi tyaga. Krishna was not an ahankari in this instance. Not that he is without ahankaram, he must be with ahankaram. So then the Yajnapatnis, our friends, our boys approached the Yajnapatnis, the Patnis of rishis. They were quite annoyed by the conduct of their husbands. They said, are they foolish? They are doing this penance towards Krishna. Why don't they offer? They immediately gathered all full chakra pongal pudiyodare dadyona tenga shadam pudiyajal, whatever they had, they filled in pots and pots. They carried it. Adukulla Krishna was too much hungry. It's now midday. I am so hungry, and why don't they bring food for me? வேர்த்து பசித்து வயிறு அசைந்து வேண்டடிச்சில் உண்ணும் போது ஈதென்னு பார்த்திருந்து நெடுநோக்கு கொள்ளும் பத்த விலோச்சனத்துக்கு என்னை உய்த்திடுமின். அழகான வாசனம். வேர்த்து Krishna started to sweat. Pashit, he was feeling so hungry. Vair ashaindu, his body started shivering. Verthu, Pashit, Vair ashaindu, Vandadishil unnumbodu, he wanted to have food, which he did not have. So, Idhannu Parthirundu, he turned very weak. And Kannallam apdi shodalru, Kannu theriyile. Pashi na Kannu theriyadhu, ana romba pashi, Kannu theriyile. Idhannu Parthirundu, he looked, he took a peep on whether anybody is approaching me. Idhannu Parthirundu, Nadunokku kollum. When the Yajnapatnis approached Krishna, and Krishna's first glances fell on them, that was their day, they got blessed. Idhannu Parthirundu, Nadunokku kollum Patta Vilochanatthukku, Bhakta Vilochana, one who blesses his devotees. Patta Vilochanatthukku enna vittidumin. So, Ahankara Buddhi, Kartrutva Buddhi Tyaga is very important. Krishna himself didn't have that. Next, Mamata Tyaga. Should we not think that Nirmamaha, nothing is mine? I am yours. Krishna had the courage to tell Kuchela, I belong to you. We all say, everything belongs to me. We should in fact accept that we belong to Krishna. But we don't accept it. But Krishna had the courage to accept Kuchela as his master. Kuchela was Sudama. Sudama was in poverty. He was too poor. Finally, his wife told him, we have too many children, we are not able to feed them. Why don't you go? Anyhow, Krishna was a student with you. He was your classmate. When you all studied under Sandipani, better go and request him. Sudama said, can I go for material benefits to my glorious Krishna? I would not. It will be very cheap on my part to do that. She said, even if you don't go to Krishna and you are not able to protect your children, then that even is harmful to Krishna. Then people will blame Krishna. Here is one who is a great emperor but does not even maintain his closest friend's family. Is this right? So, my request is right. I am not requesting for me, but only for my children. He thought, let me at least use this as an opportunity to have his darshan. Even if I don't request anything from him, let me have his darshan. Oh lady, do you have any gift to offer to Krishna? She didn't have anything. Not a morsel of rice even. She ran from house to house. She went and begged for flattened rice. She begged parched rice. She took that rice, tied in a broken cloth, tied in a torn cloth and gave it to Kuchela. Kuchela tucked it in his waist. He went to Dwaraka, set on a journey. He was so poor that looking at the richness of Dwaraka, he lost himself. Will I be allowed entry in this place? Can I enter the great palace of Krishna? When he thought so and walked through the streets, Krishna from his balcony, he looked at Sudama, came down running, hugged Sudama and invited him to his palace. Oh Sudama, it's quite some time we have met. Be seated. Offered him a seat. Offered him fruits, arghya, padya, achamaniya. He gave all respects, honor to him and sat by his side. He was fanning Sudama. People were all shocked. Here is our king who is serving a pauper. We don't believe this at all. Kannan Pakatla Ukandar. He called for Rukmani. Oh Rukmani, you know, he is my best friend. You also serve her. Rukmani said, yes, I should. As a friend, as a Brahmana, let me serve him. Then Krishna requested Sudama, did you bring anything for me? Certainly, my money. Sudama didn't want to. He felt ashamed to give that torn cloth and parched rice. But நம்ம வீட்டில் திருடம் வருவார், சாவி எங்கே வச்சுருக்குன்னா நம்ம அது இல்லவே இல்லைன்னு சாவி இருக்கிற இடத்துல இப்படி பார்ப்போம். கண்ணு தானே சாவி இருக்கிற இடத்துக்கு போயிடுமோ இல்லையா, போன உடனே திருடம் கண்டுபிடிச்சுவோம். அதே மாதிரி he said, I have bought nothing and looked at his waist. பார்த்த உடனே Krishna identified, there is something you have tucked there, let me take it. So he took away the parched rice from him, had one handful and said, it is so tasty. I know that my Babi will give me such tasty food. He was so happy. He had one handful. Then he had the next, offered it to Rukmani even. And he offered another to Rukmani. He had one. When he was about to have the second, Rukmani stopped him. She said, when you had the first handful, you became a slave of that Brahmana. If you have the second, I too would become the slave of that Brahmana. Stop with you. Other Rukmani Shonna. So, why did I tell you this story now? Krishna is one who practiced Nirmamaha. He never thought anything belongs to him. He in fact said, I belong to you. Kuchela, why you to me? I belong to you. திருமங்கையாழ்வார் ஒரு பாசுரத்தில் சொல்றார், மைவண்ண நறுங்குஞ்சி குழல் பின் தாழ மகரம் சேர்க்குழ இருபாடு இலங்கி ஆட எய்வண்ண வெஞ்சிலையே துணையாய் இங்கே இருவராய் வந்தார் என் முன்னே நின்னார் கைவண்ணன் தாமர வாய்க்கமலம் போலும் கண்ணினையு மரவிந்தம் அவ்வண்ண தவர்நலவகண்டும் தோழி அவரனாம் தேவரென்று அஞ்சினோம் நைவளவன் நாராயா நம்மை நோக்கா நாணினார் போல் இறையே நயங்கள் பின்னும் செய்வளவில் என் மனமும் கண்ணு மூடி எம்பெருமான் திருவடிக்கு அணைய இப்பால் கைவலையும் மேகலையும் காணேன் கண்டேன் கனவகரக் குழை 2 4 தோளும் எவ்வளவும் நெம்பெருமான் கோயிலென்னேற் கிதுவன்னோ எழிலாலி என்னார் தாமே. திருநெடுந்தாண்டகம், பியூட்டிஃபுல் கலெக்ஷன் ஆஃப் 30 verses. படிச்சு பாருங்க. அப்போ தான் அது எவ்வளோ நல்லா இருக்குன்னு தெரியும். அதுக்கு இருக்கிற வியாக்கியானத்தோடு வாசி பார்க்கணும். அப்போ தான் அதனுடைய அழகே புரியும். ஆழ்வார் was not indebted, was not attracted to Krishna. Krishna somehow wanted to attract Alvar to him. He tried all skills possible. He exhausted all methods possible. Alvar would not move a bit. She did not, rather. Alvar is in a Naika bhav now. She did not yield to the desire of Krishna. Krishna tried all techniques possible. Finally he said, Naivalamun Naraya. He started singing. Padina pei kuda irangulla. அப்படிதானே சொல்லியிருக்காரு. ஈவன் கோஸ் மெல்ட் லிசனிங் டு மியூசிக். தெரிஞ்சுட்டா காரணம் நம்மளும் பாடுவோம். நைவளமும் நாராயா. திஸ் லேடி இஸ் ஸோ அடமெண்ட். லெட் மீ சேஞ்ச் ஹர். ஷீ ஷுட் மெல்ட். லெட் மீ சிங். ஹீ டிட். பட் ஸ்டில் திருமங்கையாழ்வார் டிட் நாட் ஈல்ட். நைவளமும் நாராயா நம்மை நோக்கா. ஹி டுக் அ க்ளோஸ் லுக் அட் திருமங்கையாழ்வார். நோ சேஞ்ச். நோ சைன்ஸ் ஆஃப் ஈல்டிங். இறையே நாணினார் போல் இறையே நயங்கள் செய்மளவில் ஆழ்வீர். I have now exhausted. I am quite exhausted. I tried telling you that you belong to me. Now, let me change my word. I will rephrase it. Let me see whether you accept now. I have been constantly telling you that you belong to me. Now, let me accept that. Don't you accept me as your belonging? Do that at least. Alvar Bhatta, why is he coming down? This Krishna is cunning. If when he comes down, it means he has something else in mind. You know what he had in his mind? Let me belong to you or you belong to me. Accept that we are related first. That's what Krishna wants. But we are very smart. We say that neither you belong to me nor I belong to you. We are no one to each other. இப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டா தான் Bhagavan is lost. What can he say more? We all belong to him, but we flatly deny that we belong to him. This is Atma Pahara. Kintena nakritam papam chorena atma paharina. What is not done as a mistake? We all steal, we rob. One who has robbed Atma from Bhagavan, this Atma belongs to him. If I say that I am independent, then of course that's robbing. It's robbery, daylight robbery, as we have stolen his property. Kannan Pata, oh Alvar, you don't accept. Let me accept that I belong to you. When Krishna said so, Tirumangiyalvar could not be adamant anymore. நாணினார் போல் இறையே நயங்கள் செய்வளவில் பின்னும் செய்வளவில் என் மனமும் கண்ணு மோடி. My mind and my eyes ran towards him. They abandoned me. I am their master, but my mind and eyes abandoned me. மனமும் கண்ணு மோடி எம்பெருமான் திருவடிக்கு அணைய. They became friends with Bhagavan. இப்பால் கைவளையும் மேகலையும் காணேன். I forgot myself. கண்டேன் கனமகரக் குழை 2 4 தோளும். I had had vision of his கனமகரக் குழை 2 of his ear ornaments. 4 தோளும், the 4 beautiful shoulders. எவ்வளவு டெம்பெருமான் கோயில் இது வன்னோ எழிலாலி என்னார் தாமே. So even to Tirumangiyalvar, Bhagavan did not bother to yield. He stooped down to the level of telling, I belong to you, because nirmamaha. He is one who practiced nirmamaha. So first, nisprikaha. He didn't bother about fruit. Nirmamaha. Nirmamaha. Nirahankaraha. Samadukha sukakshami vihaya kaman. Yaha sarvan pumams charasti nisprikaha. Next. So nirahankaraha. He never felt haughty. Ahankaram theriyad. Not to Yajna, all the rishis. Not to Kuchela. Not to Tirumangiyalvar. So he is one who practiced that. Ahankara, I am not the Karta at all. There must be someone. No one is a Karta. He is the Karta. But he practices Nirahankara. Next, Nirmamaha. I don't belong to myself. I belong to my Bhakta. Ahantu Bhakta Paradhinaha. That's also done. Lastly, nispriha. He doesn't expect anything in reciprocation. He preached to Arjuna. Did he expect anything? Did Arjuna give him anything? Arjuna was so adamant that he would not fight. He said, I would quit. Let me go to the forest and lead a peaceful life. I will beg there to lead a life. Krishna said, you can't, Arjuna. You will have to fight. No, I don't want to enjoy this kingdom. Romba kashtapattu Krishna convinced him. Finally, stitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanantava. I am now clarified. I stand by my word. Oh Krishna, I will fight. He fought. He won this war. Then after that, what should Arjuna do? He should have offered the kingdom to Dharmaputra and Bhimasena and walked behind Krishna. He is the one who was the recipient of Gita Shloka. And he is the one who proclaimed that I would not like to enjoy this kingdom. Now that Krishna told, you don't enjoy, but it's your responsibility. Protect your citizens. Fight. He fought. He earned the kingdom. Then he left Krishna. He didn't go behind Krishna. அவர் போயிட்டார். அவர் போன பிற்பாடு இவன் ரொம்ப ஆனந்தமா நாட்டை அனுபவிச்சுட்டு இருக்கான். கண்ணன் பார்த்தார், உனக்கா நான் கீதை சொன்னேன், எவ்வளவு பெரிய கீதை சொன்னேன் அர்ஜுனா, கடைசியில் என் பின்னாடி வருவேன்னு பார்த்தியான்னா. So Krishna was nispriha. He didn't bother at all. And to our surprise, we would find that after a while, many years, once Arjuna stopped Krishna. Oh Krishna, I know that you preached me 700 verses. They were good, but then they were good. I was in a distress situation. I requested you too clarified. But in that, it was in a confused state. I wanted to fight. I was focusing on my war. So I don't remember whatever you told me. Can you repeat? திருப்பி கேட்குறான் அர்ஜுனன். நாம இருந்தா உனக்கு சொன்னதே ஜாஸ்தி, இதுக்கு மேலே திரும்பி வர வரியான்னு கேட்போம் இல்லையோ. But Krishna was too kind. He again preached Anugita in Mahabharatam. The second time, Gita which was preached again is known as Anugita. He was so kind and fond of Arjuna as he didn't expect in return from him. Nispriha, nirahankaraha, nirmamaha, nirahankaraha, sashantim adhigacchati. So vihaya kaman yaha sarvan puman charati. Nispriha, nirmamo nirahankaraha, sashantim adhigacchati. We will now move on to the third chapter where Krishna says in the 8th shloka, Niyatam kuru karmatvam karmajyayo hyakarmanaha sharira yatra picha te na prasiddheda karmanaha. Arjuna, you are trying to run away. You can't. If you are born with a body, you have to do your karma yoga. At least to live, you can't commit suicide. To live, one must earn. To earn, you must earn the right way. Earning the right way is karma yoga. Why don't you do it? It's a form of karma yoga. Earn a livelihood. Do what I tell you to do. Niyatam kuru karmatvam. I have a set of prescription to you. Do your duty daily without fail. Karmajyayo hyakarmanaha. You are talking about penance in the forest on jnana yoga. Akarma is jnana yoga here. Karma is karma yoga. You think, Arjuna, it's a misconception in your mind that jnana yoga is superior to karma yoga. It is not. For you it is not. Krishna was contextual there. Not that jnana yoga is inferior. Krishna wanted to impress on Arjuna. For you, a kshatriya warrior, for you, who is a forerunner, who is a role model, you can't run away. So, niyatam kuru karmatvam, karma jayokya karmanaha. Practicing karma is superior, is more fitting to you as a kshatriya king. Arjuna said, why should I? Krishna gave him a lot of arguments. One argument was, oh Arjuna, should I do my karma? As God, I am God, I am Krishna. Should I do karma? Arjuna thought, you need not. Why should God do karma? To whom is karma? To all of us who are driven by papa punya rupa karma. We have our accumulated karma, they drive us. But Krishna has no karma. Name parthasti kartavyam. Name partha asti kartavyam. Trishu lokeshu kinchana. Nanavaptam avaptavyam. Vartayevacha karmani. Name parthasti. Arjuna, would you know that? I have nothing to do. I have no responsibility at all. I am the most irresponsible person. No responsibility to me. This whole world is created me. It can run on its own. நான் தான் கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ணுறேன். பட் எனக்கு கர்மா கிடையாது. Since I have no karma, I have no responsibility. Name parthasya kartavyam trishu lokeshu. But nanavaptam avaptavyam. Do you think that I have some unfulfilled desire? When do we work? When do we talk to people? When do we move with people? When do we socialize? Only when you want to develop contacts and get your jobs done. If you have nothing, no unfulfilled desire, do you think that you will come out of your home to talk to anyone? I will not. Whatever I want, if I get at home, I am quite happy staying home. அது வேற வேனைக்கு வெளியில் போகிறவா இருக்கா. நான் அதை சொல்ல வரல. இப்போ வேணும்னு வம்பு பேசணும்னு போகிறா பாருங்க, நான் வாழ சொல்லலை. ஏன்னா ஆண்டாளே பாசுரத்திலே தீக்குறளை சென்று ஓதும். She says don't gossip. Not just gossiping when it comes to your home. We keep it as a mission to go home to home. ஒரு வீடா போய் அந்தந்த வீட்டு திண்ணையில் உட்காந்து தீக்குறளை சென்று ஓதும். ஓதோம் இல்லை, சென்று ஓதும். போய் வேற பேசிட்டு வர இல்லையோ, இதெல்லாம் நாம பண்றது. Krishna says nanavaptam avaptavyam. I have no unfulfilled desire. I am not influenced by karma. Oh Arjuna, tell me then, why should I do my responsibility? I can refrain from doing anything, but I don't. I have now accepted to be your charioteer. I will ensure that I do my job perfectly. எதுக்கு? Krishna has never failed even in one session to bathe the horses. He has done it rightly. To feed the horses, he did them. To train the horses, he did them rightly. அப்பவே அவர் சொன்னார், right from infancy, right when I was a boy Arjuna, I took it on myself. I took it as my responsibility to bring up the cows, and I have protected them. I am a Gopala after all, and I ensure that my cows are protected. If Krishna did not protect the cows, who can question him? Nobody. But he says, I never left it so. I ensured that they were all protected. As a boy, I protected cows. Now as a charioteer, I protect you and your horses. When Arjuna promised to kill Jayadratha before dusk on a particular day, for Jayadratha was instrumental in the killing of Abhimanyu. அதனால அர்ஜுன் ரொம்ப வேகமா அவர் இந்த ப்ராமிஸ் எல்லாம் ரொம்ப வேகமா பண்ணிடுவார். அதை பண்றதுக்குள்ள கண்ணம் பாடு போர் இவர் என்ன சத்தியமா பண்ணிட்டார்னா யார் நிறைவேற்றுறது சத்தியத்திலாம்? இப்போ அவர் சொல்லிட்டார், சாயங்காலம் சூரியாஸ்தமனத்துக்குள்ளே இஸ் கில்ட். நத்திங் ஹேப்பன். இட் வாஸ் 5:50 in the evening. அது கிடைக்கவே இல்லை. அவன் ஜெயத்ரதன் எங்கே போனான்னா கண்ணன் பார்த்தா he used Sudarshana Chakra and shadowed sun. It looked as though it was dusk. The sun has fallen. நினச்சி விட்டார் எல்லாரும். Jayadratha came. Now he has to take a plunge. Arjuna has to plunge into fire and end his life. People were all waiting. If that happens, this will be the last date of Mahabharata war. சொல்லிண்டாளா கிட்டக்கு எல்லாரும் all gathered together to take part in this glorious ceremony. Jayadratha, Karna, Duryodhana, they were all there. Suddenly, Krishna moved his Sudarshana Chakra and said, here is sun, here is Jayadratha, go ahead. அவ்வளோதான் அவர் சொன்னார். அர்ஜுனன் பார்த்தா சூரியன் இருந்தார், ஜெயத்ரதன் இருந்தார், ஷாட் அண்ட் ஆர்வான் கில் ஜெயத்ரதா. இந்த நாடகம்லாம் யார் நடத்துறது? இவர் ப்ராமிஸ் பண்ணிட்டு போயிட்டார்னா அதுக்கப்புறம் அவரை காப்பாற்றுற வேலையோ இல்லையோ. Krishna said, I didn't leave you Arjuna. Since I assumed responsibility, I will complete my responsibility. I won't go. So, as a responsible citizen, as a bhakta, we can't run away. That's what Krishna preached and that is what he practiced. He didn't run away as a charioteer. And even today, he is so well worshipped as a charioteer. In one Divadesham, Thiruvallikeni, Parthasarathi Perumal, Virperu Vidavu, Kanjanum Mallum, Vedamum Padamum Vida, Vedamum Pahanum Vida, Chattavan Tanne, Purameriseida, Shivanuru, Tuyarkade Teve, Pattalarviya, Kolgayel Kundu, Parthantan, Dermun, Nindane, Chittavanial, Mudizorandani, Thiruvallikeni, Kandene. Now I have the darshan. I had darshan of Parthasarathi Perumal, Thiruvallikeni, Kandene, Pattalarviya, Kol Kayil Kondu. All those who were not bhaktas, we for them to get ended, for them to be killed. We kol kaiyil kondu. Krishna as a cowherd boy had a little wand, a staff in his hand. Even today Parthasarathi Perumal sporting the staff. அவர் கையில் கதை கிடையாது. இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு கோல் தான் வச்சிருப்பார். கொல்லாமா கோல் கொலை செய்து பாரத போருடு பத்தலர்விய கோல் கையில் கொண்டு பார்த்தன் தன் தேர்முன் நின்னானே சித்தவபணியால் முடிதுறந்தானே திருவல்லிக்கேணி கண்டேனே. So Krishna even he discharged his duties rightly. One day when the horses were very tired, Krishna stopped. He said, I can't run anymore, I can't drive them more. You wait. Arjuna, he compelled Krishna. You have to know. I have to conclude this war. Amma, idathani modal naale sollite irukken. போடுறேங்கிறது வரை எங்கே சண்டை போடுறே நீ? இவளை பார்க்கச்சே பயந்து போய் உள்ளே ஓடிப்படுற. இது இல்லை, இந்த குதிரைகளுக்கு இப்போ முடியல, இவர்களுக்கு இப்போ நான் ஓய்வு கொடுத்து தான் ஆகணும், கொடுத்தா தான் அது ஒழுங்காக இருக்கும். ஸோ கிருஷ்ணா cared for the horses more than Arjuna. Not that he compromised on Arjuna, but he discharged his responsibility so well. Nanavaptam avaptavyam vartavevacha karmani yadikhyayam na vartetam jatu karmanya tandritaha mama vartmanu vartante manushyaha partha sarvashaha. You know, this entire world would get spoiled, Arjuna, if at all I don't discharge my duties. What is the most important duty of Krishna? See, as an incarnated Krishna, he is a charioteer now. But as the Almighty God, creation and absorption is his most important duty. He creates and absorbs as a Jagat Karana, which he is never tired of. His purpose of creation is to get Jivatma to Mukti. But we don't. But is he tired of it? Is he dejected that this is not going to happen anymore? Let me stop creation? He never does it. Nanavaptam avaptavyam vartavevacha karmani onni ulaham padaittan kaviyayinirku. Bhagavan continues with creation with an ever expectation that will be fruitful. It would be effective whether 10 people come or 2 come or none comes. He is not bothered. He continues the job of creation. அதுதான் அவர்கிட்ட இருக்கிற ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டி. நியதம் குரு கர்மத்வம் கர்மஜ்யாயோ ஹ்யகர்மணஹ நமே பார்த்தாஸ்தி கர்த்தவ்யம் த்ரிஷு லோகேஷு கிஞ்சன நானவாப்தம் அவாப்தவ்யம் வர்த்தயேவச்ச கர்மணி. Krishna further says in the 9th chapter, this is the last point today, we will conclude with that. He says, avajananti mam moodhaha manushim tanum ashritam param bhavavajanantah mama bhuta maheshwara. 9th chapter 11th verse. Avajananti mam moodhaha, these idiots don't recognize me, they don't know who I am. Manushim tanum ashritam, I took a human form so that they could relate to me better. Avajananti mam moodhaha, but they didn't know, they didn't realize. I took this form for them to relate with me, but they wrongly thought me to be a human being with them, so they didn't respect me. Avajananti mam moodhaha, they disrespected me. Manushim tanum ashritam, and they floored a golden opportunity to reach me. Manushim tanum ashritam param bhavam ajanantah, unknowing, ignorant of my superiority. Paranjanam ananantah mama loka maheshwaram bhuta maheshwaram, and they didn't realize that I am the head of this entire prapancham. They didn't. அப்படின்னா அவ நிலை என்ன தெரியுமா அர்ஜுனா? There are many people who conduct themselves so moghashaha mogha karmanaha mogha jnanaha vichetasaha rakshasim asurim chaiva prakritim mohinim shritaha moghashaha. All those who don't recognize me, moghashaha, they will be of unfulfilled desire. Ashe, mogha ashe, wasted, unfulfilled desire. Mogha karmanaha, futile actions. Moghaha, mogha karmanaha, mogha jnanaha, useless jnana. They will have jnanam, which is just not effective, no use at all. They will do many actions, futile actions, which will not bear fruit. And they would have many desires, which will never be unfulfilled. Moghashaha, mogha karmanaha, mogha jnanaha, vichetasaha. They will lose their heart finally. They will lose their mind, they get confused. Rakshasim asurim chaiva prakritim mohinim shritaha. So, O Arjuna, note that I am everything. If people don't realize that I am everything and anything, they are the losers. Aham kraturaham. In the 16th verse, Krishna explains this. Aham kratuhu, I am the sacrificial pyre. Aham yajnaha, I am the offering, I am the sacrifice. Swadha, aham aushadham, I am Swadha, the wife of Agni Devata, who carries all the offerings to the Devatas. Aham Swadha, aham kratuhu, aham yajnaha, I am everything. I am the one who performs an yajna. I am the one ghee offered in the yajna. I am the fire god in the yajna. I am the altar for the yajna. I am the fruit giver for the yajna. I am the one who compels people to perform yajna. I am everyone. I am anything. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam. Whatever sacrifices you do, I am the one who gives the fruit for them. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam. Aham ki yajnanam bhokta cha prabhurevacha. I am yajna. I am the enjoyer of yajna. I am the Prabhu, master of yajna. I am everything. aham kraturaham yajnah swadhaham aham aushadham mantraha aham ahameva ajyam. I am the mantras chanted while performing a yajna. Mantraha ahameva ajyam agniraham. I am fire god. Kraturaham bhutam. So I am everything, Arjuna. Don't think that I am away from you. Don't think that you offer, you sacrifice to someone. I am that God. I dwell, I reside in every God. Aham ki sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhurevacha. Then he continued in the 11th chapter. In the 10th chapter, he listed his belongings, where he said, Adityanam aham Vishnu, Rudranam Shankaraschasmi, Marutanam asti. He lists, he chooses groups. Adityanam. Out of the Dwadasha Adityas, I am Vishnu. The most important Aditya, I am him. Rudranam Shankaraschasmi. Of the 11 Rudras, I am Shankara. Vedanam Samavedasmi. Of the 4 Vedas, I am Samaveda. So, Senaninam Aham Skanda. Of all the military chiefs, I am Skanda. And Meru Shikarinam Aham. Of the peaked mountains, I am Meru. Sthavarana Asmi Himalaya. Of the big mountains, I am Himachala. So Krishna says that everything belongs to him. Nothing is without him. Nothing can ever exist without him as Antaratma. Aham kraturaham yajnah swadham aham aushadham mantroham ahameva ajyam aham agnir aham bhutam. Further he says, so offer everything to me. Yat karoshi, yad ashnasi, yad juhosi, dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurushva madarpanam. Offer everything to me. Yad karoshi, whatever you do. Yad ashnasi, whatever you consume. Yad karoshi, yad ashnasi, yad juhosi, whatever is your offerings. Yad karoshi, your actions. Yad ashnasi, whatever you eat. Yad juhosi, whatever yajna you perform. Yad tapasyasi, your sacrifices and austerities. Tat kurushva madarpanam. Offer all those to me. Arjuna was quite perplexed. He requested Krishna, why? Should I not offer to Indra, Chagni, Andhra, Kubera? Why not to them? They are all part and parcel of me, Arjuna. I bear them. I hold them. I created them. Maya tadamidam sarvam jagadavyakta murtina matstani sarvabhutani nataham teshpavasthita nacha matstani bhutani pashyame yogamaishwaram. I dwell inside every object. Maya tatam. I permeate. And bhumirapo nalovayuhu kammano buddhirevacha ahankara itiyam me bhinna pratirastadha. This prakriti and the glorious Atman, all are mine. I permeate. I am the Antaryami of everything. So, whatever you do, whatever you do or you don't, ninnanar irindanar kedandanar tirindanar, ninnilar irindilar kedandilar tirindilar, yennumor iyalvinar yenananai variyavar, yennumor iyalvodu ninnavan thidare. Nammalvar says so. Ninnanar, if you stand or sit or recline, walk, run. If you do not stand, you do not recline, you do not sit, you do not walk, everything is under his control. Ninnanar, irindanar, kedandanar, tirindanar. So Arjuna, you better offer all that you have to me. If you don't offer to me, you cook for yourself and eat. You know your plight? Yajna chittashana santaha muchyante sarvakil vishaihi tet tadam bhujyate papaha ye pasantyatma karanat. You cook for your own benefit. Eat it, then you consume balls of papa. You cook for me, offer it to me, and then have it as a prasadam. Then you eat punyam. You choose whether you want to eat papa or you would like to continue with punyam. You choose. Yajna shittashina santaha. So one must necessarily perform aradhana, and as the last part of an aradhana, offer food to Bhagavan and have that food partake prasadam as his offering to us. Yajna shittashina santaha muchyante. If you do that, we are relieved of all our papams. So everything belongs to him. We all offer to him. How did Krishna practice this? Last story, just 5 minutes. Krishna practiced this during Govardhana Annakuta Puja. Every year, an annual puja to Indra. Indra, Makha Devata, Devan Bhavayatanena, Te Devan Bhavayantuvaha, Parasparam Bhavayantaha Shreya Paramavapsyata. Krishna says, I created the Devatas, Arjuna. You offer sacrificial, all offerings to him. He in turn will give you rain. Vayu would soothe you with breeze, with cool breeze. Agni Bhagavan will help you to cook food. So I created these devatas so that you benefit mutually. Anena prasavishadhvam. This is what for I created devatas. So it was a practice in Gokula to offer lots and loads of food on a particular day to go to Indra. Indra was the god, presiding deity. Anniki, and the Varshan Kannan Ulla vandar. Vandavane Pata, what is happening here? A big festival? A big celebration. Enna nadakardunnar. Oh, unak theriyada kanna? Indra Makayagam. We are all preparing to offer food. 1008 padi. I don't know what is a padi. Padi na 100 kilo. So about 1500 kilos of food. We all cook food. A trolley, a big vehicle comes and stops before everyone's house. They load their part of food. It all goes to Vrindavan. Govardhan Kulli. Inniki Mathura Len Pon, or 20 kilometer Pochinatan, Govardhan. It's a great place where people perform Parikrama every day. And that too, not just Parikrama, Dandavat Pranama Parikrama. Kidu the Seipa, Talapatartal Yelnupa, Thirumba Seipa, Talapatartal Yelnupa. Either Poli 20 kilometer. The parikrama of Govardhana, it spans through 21 kilometers. There are people who begin at 3 a.m. in the morning and complete at 6 daily. All 365 days, irrespective of weather conditions they do. For them, Giriraj is Govardhan. He is Giriraj because he could ascend the little finger of Krishna. What more he wants? Kannanuடைய கையிலே ஏறினப்புறம் நாம போய் அவன் கால்ல விழ மாட்டோமா? அதுக்கு தான் சுத்தி வந்துட்டு இருக்கா. So when preparations were on to offer to Indra, Krishna stopped. Don't offer to him. What does he do for us? Nothing. We are all given wood by Govardhana, rain by Govardhana. Our cows are benefited by Govardhana, medicinal herbs by Govardhanagiri. So I prefer to offer to Govardhana mountain, not to Indra. There were factions. The house was divided into two. All the elders got together and said, if we change, we are inviting trouble. We know that Indra would be furious. But all the youth got together. If you do not, also invite trouble. அவ்வளவுதான் நடக்கும். நீங்க மாத்தலைன்னா நாங்க உதைக்க போறோம். மாத்திட்டீங்கன்னா இந்திரன் உதைக்க போறான். யார் உதைய வாங்கிக்க போறேன்னு நீங்க முடிவு பண்ணிக்க வேண்டியதான். Finally the elders yielded. They said they couldn't stand against the vociferous appeal of this youth. So they accepted. Let's all offer to Govardhanagiri. எதுக்கு கண்ணம் பண்ணார் இப்போ? The same meaning. What we are talking about now. Everything to be offered to Krishna, not anybody else. So Krishna ensured, bring, let carts and carts of food come and get spread here. They spread. Annakuta Utsavani Pungondala நடக்கும். அட்டு குவிஷோத்து பருப்பதம் தைரளம் நெய்வாவின் ஆழ்வார் பாசனம் பெரியாழ்வார் 10 பாசனம் பாடியிருக்கார். கொட்டா. There are many monkeys around Govardhanagiri now. Alvar sings about all those monkeys even. In his 10 songs on Govardhana Malai, things were all ready. They had spread a big blanket. They had gathered rice, cooked rice there. It was just to be offered to Govardhana. Krishna said Govardhana would accept it. But when someone has food, it is not decent to look at them. ஒரு screen போட வேண்டாம், தர போடணும் இல்லையோ. But we can't put a screen to Govardhana. So what else can we do? You close your eyes. So that's a self-light screen. நம்ம கண்ண மூடிடலாம் இல்லையோ. இது மலைக்கெல்லாம் எங்கேயான ஸ்க்ரீன் போட முடியுமா? முடியாது. நீங்களே கண்ண மூடிங்கன்னா. Yes, all the children closed their eyes. Krishna said, Aham Govardhanosmi. I am Govardhana, and in a minute consumed everything that was in offer there. Now open your eyes. Do you recall any year when Indra so affectionately accepting all your offerings? Never. He has never come to accept your offerings. He stays in his heaven. He doesn't want to even look at you. But you were offering to him. You see now, not a morsel of rice remaining. எவ்வளவு ஆசை இருந்தா கோவர்தன் எல்லாத்தையும் சாப்பிடணும். அதனாலதான் மொத்தத்தையும் சாப்பிட்டது. It was Krishna who consumed. He didn't even give a portion to anybody. He didn't share. Why? Anything offered to Anna Devata is not right for his bhakta. He didn't want to give. He could have given after he had, but he had. He completed exhausted. Emptied all the carts. அப்போ அதில் தெரிஞ்சுக்க வேண்டியது என்ன? Any yajna, any yaga, any offering is to him, not to anyone else. Aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhurevacha. So we must cook, offer to him and have as his prasadam. If you do that, then we develop sattva guna in us. If you do not do that, it's rajo guna and tamo guna. So Bhagavan preached, he practiced what he preached. At times he preached and left Rama to practice. அது உண்டு. ஏன்னா பொய் சொல்லாதேன்னு ரொம்ப நாளாக ப்ரீச் பண்ணிட்டார் அவர். அது அவர் பண்ண மாட்டார் இல்லையோ, அது ராமன் பண்ணிப்பார். அப்போ this is either practice and preaching of Krishna or preachings of Krishna and practice of Rama. That's more practical to us. ராமனை பார்த்தா என்ன வேணா பண்ணலாம், அது கரெக்டாக இல்லையா? இது பார்த்து பார்த்து சூஸ் பண்ணிடலாம், ஒன்று அவர் பின்னாடி நம்ம போக வேண்டாம். அவர் என்ன பண்ணாலும் அது நமக்கு பிரமாணம். ஆகவே with these words I conclude today's session. Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedhase Raghunataya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha Brindaranya Nivasaya Balaramanujaya Cha Rukmini Prananathaya Parthasutaya Mangalam Mangalashasana Paraihi Madacharya Purogamaihi Sarvaischa Purvairacharyahi Satkritayastu Mangalam Shriya Kantaya Kalyana Nidhaye Nidhayertina Shri Venkata Nivasaya Srinivasaya Mangalam. I thank you all for having attended all these 5 days. In spite of 4 days being working days, you had all gathered in good numbers. I'll thank you. But for the continuous effort of the volunteers, beginning from Shri Mohan and Vijay Mohan, Ramesh and all those who took part in this Kainkariam, I do not know all those names. They had only contacted me. I came here in 2010 and they have been in constant touch with me. As I am involved in many Divyadesha Kainkariams, it becomes difficult to travel. Fortunately, it was possible now. So I thank them for all their efforts, sincere efforts in organizing this. Last time and this time, I had the company of many people. Last time, I stayed in a place, they were so kind to me. This time I stayed with Mohan. He was so kind to me. So I thank my host even. போன தரம் வந்தவாளுக்கும் சொல்கிறேன், இந்த தரம் வந்தவாளுக்கும் சொல்கிறேன். அவள் எல்லாருக்கும் அடியனுடைய நன்றி உரித்தாகுக. Finally, to Shri Krishna, to Bhagavan Narayana for having conducted this and completed this well. I hope all these 5 days sessions were of some use to you. You recall some concepts at least, think over them, internalize them, try to implement them. I thank you once again for having attended all the 5 sessions. Thank you all. Vidai Peruகிறேன்.